What's going on, guys? Arnie here. So I wanted to chat with you guys today real quick about how winners make time and losers make excuses. So this is a hype up session for you guys this Sunday. We got a big week ahead. It's always a big week. So today we're going to be talking about how winners make time and losers make excuses. So the big difference I see in a lot of the people that I help, or people that I want to help, is the people who really want to dive in and demand success are there to make time, and they understand that their priorities are in order, and they know that this stuff needs to happen. And the losers are the ones who are making excuses, who have a vision board but don't take action on any of that stuff, who are just kind of sitting there hoping that their dream life will become real. And I don't want that for you guys. So I wanted to share a few different mindset hacks to help you guys overcome adversity, deal with challenges, whether it's a mindset thing, whether it's a strategy thing, all that, to really help you get through stuff. So ever since I started solo traveling about 2 years ago, it's been an entire life of constantly solving problems and overcoming issues. Everything from, being dropped into a whole nother country where they speak another language, new culture, finding new friends, all this stuff, and being forced to figure out how to make it, how to, have this life that I wanted to live. And it all started with the decision to pursue it. And that decision to pursue it is step number one, guys. So when you make a decision to pursue something, that opens up your entire world of possibilities, right? So if you're sitting there, you think, I really wish I could start this business. I really wish I could, reach a new level of success. I really wish I, had a girlfriend. I really wish I had blah, 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 all this different stuff. It's just a thought in your head real quick. But when you start to say, okay, I'm going to go out and get it. I'm going to go out and make this stuff happen. That's when your brain opens up to a whole new territory, right? So it's really cool, because that's when you start to explore the how of everything, and it's really, really important. So hey, if you guys are watching this live, go ahead and type live down below, and if you guys are on the replay, type replay down below. Curious to see who's in the house. So when you explore the idea of pursuing something, your brain opens up all these new possibilities, and it thinks about all these different things. So this is where a lot of people get stuck. They might say, I really want to achieve this thing. Whether, whatever it is for you. And what's happening, Amanda? And a lot of people, so when they begin this thought process of wanting to pursue something and wanting to achieve a certain result or get success, their mind naturally comes up with all the reasons why it won't work. And it sucks, because there's so many limiting beliefs holding us back in doing the things that we want to do. But the problem is we're listening to the limiting beliefs and not the empowering beliefs. So I want you guys to explore failure. So this first step, this first exercise, is what I call a tree of failure. And it is a really, really cool way to look at how that thing you want to pursue and all the different problems that could come up with it. And then you get to breaking it down and addressing solutions for each and every part. So I'm going to give you an example. So we're up here at this beautiful rooftop hotel right now. Got some crew over here. Hey guys, wave real quick. Hey, there's Dale and Andrew, and some more people hanging around here. So yesterday we were talking about we want to do an event down here in Playa del Carmen, like a 30-person mastermind, like a high-ticket kind of thing. And so we sat down and we started thinking about, okay, what are our ideas? What are our plans? And then what we did is, okay, we mapped out everything we wanted to do, and then we did the failure tree exercise. So the failure tree exercise is looking at every possible point of failure in that project, in that event, in all the different things that could possibly go wrong, and we wrote them down. So, for example, we start off with number one. The biggest way to fail there is to not sell any tickets. So what happens right before somebody sells a ticket? That means somebody's on the phone and offering somebody this event. And then we say, okay, what are things that would stop somebody from wanting to come to the event? And then we could say, price is too high, not the right timing, not the right offer. They don't want to go to Mexico. They think it's unsafe, blah, blah, blah. All that kind of stuff. So we wrote down all those things, and then we said, okay, cool. How do we incorporate that back into the funnel, into the qualification, into blah, blah, blah? And then the next step down, the next point of failure was we don't get enough people on the phone. in the first place. So we thought, okay, cool. Well, how do we fix that? We do more ads. We create a promotional calendar. We put the word out. We might do an affiliate program, all this kind of stuff, so that we analyze every little possible point of failure. And when you explore failure, what it gives you is clarity on things that can go wrong and will go wrong if you don't pay attention to them. So it's a really good way to analyze what your goals are and what your plans are, and then break it down. And so like I'm the type of person, I really like to see everything like mapped out and all logical and just very simply set up like that. So when you are stuck on something, what I want you guys to do is explore every possible reason how it can go wrong and be comfortable looking at that failure, saying, hey, here's different ways this could fail. And then you go into problem solving mode and you say, okay, cool. Well, what are all the solutions for that possible point of failure? So if you're doing a new business, you say, okay, what if my product sucks? Like, okay, cool. What goes into having a product suck? You know, what can we do to improve the product? What can we do to improve the delivery? All these different things. So it makes it so much easier to move forward in little bits and pieces on that big scary project, because you see all the things that can go wrong and where you can move and take action to fix them. Because guys, like we're building big businesses here. We're dealing with problems constantly. We're putting out fires, and you need to be mentally equipped, but also have cool strategies like this failure tree. You know. So I want you guys to think of that exercise, number one, as a way to do it. And number two, as you look at this thing, you're going to understand that your projects, your goals are complex, and they're hard, and they're challenging, and they're going to come with a lot of things that you have never done before. And that's okay. That's what being an entrepreneur is all about. Creative problem solving, figuring this stuff out, and making shit happen. So if you want to get to that next level of results, the next level of success, you have to look at those problems one by one, figure out which ones are the most important to tackle, and go do it. So like one of my private clients, I keep giving him stuff to do that he's never done before, like confusing, hard, complicated stuff, you know, setting up funnels, doing all these things, and he'll just go out and do it. He'll just, and he knocks it out, and then, you know, a few hours later, he's like, all right, what's next? You know, where a lot of people, they get caught up because they think, okay, you know, what if I did this wrong? I don't know about that. I don't know about this angle. What do I do? Blah, blah, blah. They just make a bunch of excuses. But he's a winner. He's taking action. He's getting everything ready. And he's like going all in. So that's the type of person that is, you know, has the mindset of get it done and figure it out and no excuses. So another big thing I see is people playing the blame game. Losers play the blame game. You know, if something happens in your life and it doesn't go well, even if it is somebody else's fault, guess what? You still own the result at the end of the day. So if something bad happens and you say, oh man, you know, I would be successful, but you know, this one guy, he you know, screwed me over or whatever, are you going to sit there and just be screwed forever and just, you know, point at that person? No, you're going to go out and fix it because you own the result at the end of the day. Nobody else does but you. So that's number two, guys, is getting rid of the blame game and taking ownership, especially as a leader. If any of you guys have team members or family members that are counting on you, there's a lot of times where even if it is somebody else's fault, like straight up 100% somebody else's fault, you as the leader, you have to step up and look into, okay, what could I have done better to support them in doing that thing so that they didn't drop the ball, you know? And when you take that extreme level of ownership, it's really cool because you start making better decisions for yourself that impacts all the people on your team, in your family, in your relationships, all that. You start looking at it from yourself. You're not playing the blame game. So losers play the blame game, and they always just point at other people, other things for why they don't have what they want. You know, there's so many people out there ranting about, oh, the government this, the blah, 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 you know, and just creating all this bullshit for themselves. And it's keeping them in a box in their mind. And they're saying, you know, oh, if the government did something different, I would have success. If the government did something different, I would have money. If the government did something different, I would be happier. Whatever. It's just pointing at some big abstract thing or even a specific thing and laying all their problems on something else besides you. But guess what, guys? It's almost 2019. It's the height of the information age that it has ever been. And there are more ways to solve problems and get resources than ever before, right at your fingertips, in your phone, right now. So when you guys go through that failure tree exercise, you are able to get answers for anything you want within minutes. So when you can kind of understand that, you don't play the blame game, you play the solve the problem game, and you play it as quickly as you can. Like, that's something that's helped me up in the past too, where I'm trying to like work through projects and do all these things, and I'm not moving fast enough. Because like there's so many people out there that see what they have to do, and then they take their time, they're playing Angry Birds, they're, you know, bullshitting themselves, they are you know, focusing on all the wrong things, and it's just slowing them down in so many ways. So I really don't want that for you guys. And all right guys, so number 3 to get over these issues is to so there is a really cool exercise where it's totally on mindset about flipping your beliefs. So, for example, if you write down your biggest fears about an idea, or if you write down a lot of the negative statements, that head trash you have, and then you write down the opposite. So, for example, you know, if you got something going and you're sitting there, you're thinking, I'm not good enough, or nobody's going to pay me this rate, or you know, they don't trust me, or all these different things. This can happen in business, life, relationships, whatever. All these negative thoughts that get into your head, write them down and then write the opposite of them. So like you can say like, oh, you know, instead of nobody's going to pay me this, you're going to say, you know, my ideal clients will be happy to pay me this. And all of a sudden you have these new mantras that are the exact opposite of the negative stuff that's going on inside your head. And when you can put those down on paper and really take a look at them and see what the heck is going on inside your head, and realize that your brain is trying to trick itself into playing small. So one thing to think of, guys, is we are pretty advanced as humans, but we're also super dumb. Like, we still completely operate off of our caveman brains of food, shelter, comfort, warmth, all that. And that's how we operate. So when we take risks, it naturally goes against our caveman brains. So I want you guys to be a little bit smarter than a caveman, and be okay with taking risks, and be okay with stepping outside of your comfort zone. And that exercise will definitely help you go through that, of understanding how to flip those beliefs, and then have that list and be able to look at them. And you know, everybody gets this at every level. I don't care if you have never made a sale in your life. I don't care if you got a 6-figure business, 8-figure business. Everybody has stuff that pops into their head that shouldn't be there. And the worst thing you could possibly do is believe it. All right. So the best thing you can possibly do is figure out how to flip it upside down and empower yourself with it instead of having it limit you. So all right, guys. So we got those 3 exercises. We got a failure tree. So write out all the possible points of failure and figure out what's going on there. Number 2, we got to drop the blame game and take ownership in every area of your life, even if it's somebody else's fault. Figure out what you can do to make it your fault, and own it, and find solutions and work through them. Number 3, we want to take all of those bad limiting beliefs and we want to flip them upside down to be empowering. So write down those things that you feel are holding you back, those bad thoughts you have, and then write down the opposite of that statement, and like burn up all the negative stuff, like literally light it on fire or something like that. Crumple it up, throw it away, put it in the shredder, whatever you got to do, and then put those empowering statements somewhere you can see them visibly, whether it's your phone background, whether it's a piece of paper above your wall. Like being able to see that daily will just make you feel like a total boss. And like, imagine hopping on a sales call right before you read those beliefs out loud. So that was something that also took me out of a huge slump a couple of years ago when I was doing some agency stuff. I had 1 month where I was completely dry on sales after 12 consultation calls. I couldn't even sell a $200 email marketing package, you know, and it was terrible. And it was because I really lacked that confidence, and I was in my head soaking in those negative beliefs of I'm not good enough and all this other stuff. So I figured out how to switch it upside down, and then review those mantras before I got on any sales calls, before I talked to any prospects, and I was closing deals like a madman after that. So this is a really cool exercise to help you out, not only in your daily mindset, your habits, but your sales as well. So those are 3 things you guys can do to get out of the excuse mindset, the blame game, and step up as a winner and make time for the things you need to do. So hope that helps. I will catch you all later. Have a productive week, and talk to you soon, guys. Later.